Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Sir, we already have a quorum, sir.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, Iris. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, back members. Good afternoon. Ayun, si Atty. Jane. Haba na ng buhok mo, Atty. Jane, ha?
Ay, sige sir, magpapagupit na ako agad-agad.
Hindi ka na
Magpapagupit ako
nagpagupit mula
agad-agad.
nung pandemic.
Sige sir, papagupit ako bukas na bukas para sa'yo.
Nako, patay tayo dyan. Huwag na. Baka singilin mo pa ako ng pinambayad mo sa parlor, patay. Huwag na
Sorry,
lang.
nagkakulay.
Philippines sa Miss Universe. Mahirap po ngayon sa mga salon.
Hindi, pwede na. Nakapag-barber na ako. Yo. No, si Ate Marlene nga, araw-araw nandun na eh. Pagkagising pala ng umaga, doon na nagkakape sa ano yan eh.
Walang gupit ni sir.
Sige, ano muna tayo? Sige, Juan. At is everybody ano na? In na, except si General Milo. Paalam. O ano?
Sir, Attorney Robinson, another meeting po is in the SAC meeting. Engineer Borlado is on sick leave, sir. But the rest of the members as well as our end users, sir, are already here. We already have a quorum po.
Okay, sige. The meeting will please come to order. Secretariat, and do we have a quorum?
Yes, sir, we do have a quorum.
Okay, sige. What do you have for this afternoon?
Sir, for this afternoon, sir, I will flash my screen. Sir, first we have the Pre-Procurement Conference for the survey of procurement of survey services for the expansion of Virac Airport amounting to 2,575,755 pesos. This is an ADMS project, sir. The mode of procurement is public bidding, sir. This is the same, sir, those options that were presented during the last meeting, sir. This will be presented by the ADMS, sir.
ADMS?
Yes, sir. This will be presented by Engineer Mary Jean Amabaw, sir. Engineer?
Hello, sir. Good afternoon po. Good afternoon, everybody.
Wala ka bang picture dyan, Jean? Ayun. Bakit nasa ka ba? Nasa bahay ka o ano?
Sir, nasa bahay po, sir. Work from home.
Nakapanganak ka na, nandiyan ka pa rin sa bahay. Ha? Di ba nanganak ka na? Bakit work from home ka pa rin?
Hindi, sir, kasi nakaschedule, sir, eh. Skeletal po po.
Ganon? Sige. You have it?
Ano ba? Ang share yan.
Okay, ano yung ano mo, yung audio mo, Juan, Jin.
Hello po.
Yun. Yan, dapat ganon.
Wait lang. Wait lang sir, hindi marunong stream.
Turuan mo kasi.
Ano nga eh. Dito mo na po ba?
Ma'am, I think may problem po sa audio niyo. Ma'am,
Ala. Ala, nangyari dyan.
Ano nangyari?
Wala ka bang backup dyan, Jin?
Ayan sir, visible na po ba?
Yan.
yes, ma'am. Kita na po. Pa-enlarge na lang, ma'am. Pa-present na lang po.
So, good afternoon po, Mr. Chair, and good afternoon po everyone. So, let me present to you the pre-procurement project for the survey services for the expansion of Virac Airport. So, this is just the same as the one presented last December 3. So, the project background is, it is a DOTR downloaded project for the Virac Airport planned street width correction from 100 meters to 150 meters to comply with the minimum street width for airports under Code 4C. So,
the presentation. Excuse me, MJ. The presentation is not flashed on the slide.
Yes, sir. So the project background, as I said earlier, so it is a DOTR downloaded project for the Virac Airport's planned street width correction from 100 meters to 150 meters to comply with the minimum street width for the airports under Code 4C. So the ADMS has identified the area for acquisition, which is subject to validation by the survey services to be procured at the same time with the appraisal services. So the engagement of services of a survey identified the affected lots and existing improvements such as structures, utilities, trees within each affected parcel shall be used as reference during the appraisal services. So the procurement of survey services for the expansion of the Virac Airport, and the source of fund is AA calendar year 2060 funding accessories, 1 unit total station with complete accessories, and 1 unit service vehicle with dedicated driver. So the duration for this project is 75 calendar days, which have an applicable fee for the bidding documents of 5,600 pesos with inclusive of 12% VAT. So as per IPD clause 10.1c, the minimum required experience of proposed professional staff is as follows. For the project manager, the minimum years of experience is 10 years with a valid license as proof of profession. The deputy engineer is 5 years minimum years of experience and a valid license for proof of profession. For this project, the scope of work is the inception report, final parcellary survey report, the final roll survey report, and a court appearance if acquisition progresses into expropriation proceedings. So, as per recommendation, the mode of procurement will be public bidding. Evaluation procedure will be quality cost-based evaluation or the QCBE, and the criteria and ratings for evaluation for the HRD are technical 70% and financial 30%. So the technical composes of 28% from the experience and capability of the survey firm, and quality of personnel to be assigned to the project will be 21%, and planning of approach and methodology will be 21% out of 70. So that composes of 70% for the technical proposal and 30% for the financial. So that's all po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Jen. Napagod ako doon sa ano mo, ang bilis.
Sorry.
Para kang hinahabol. Ikaw talaga.
Sorry, sir. Sorry.
Oh, any comment from the members regarding the presentation of the ADMS? Ang lit-lit nito ni Jen eh, ang bilis-bilis ng ano.
Ay, mabilis ba, sir? Sorry. Mamaya sir, hinahinaan ko na konti.
Anong gusto mong anong gawin natin dito sa kan mo? Pre-procurement mo.
Request for posting, sir.
Lalagay mo doon sa presentation mo yun, ha? Ha?
Yes, sir. Request for approval of posting. So,
Ayun. Number 4. Okay, if any no comments, any motion to approve for posting?
Through the chair.
Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
Yes, sir. The same comment that if I'm not mistaken, the Baler and the strategy is yet to be determined, and the members of the BAC is waiting for the publication in the GC, and we were not able to see the mode of procurement yet. Approval of the mode of procurement for the project.
Putol-putol. ADMS, nakuha mo yung ano ni ano?
Sir, if I may.
Yeah, sige.
Engineer Hubay, sir.
Sige, Lolit. Sige, go ahead.
Sir, I have reviewed the...
Teka muna, may manok ka dyan, Lolit, ha? Nasa bahay ka
Sa
ba?
bahay po ako, sir.
Nasaan?
Nasa bahay po ako.
Okay, yung manok mo, talian mo muna sa malayo. Panabong.
Okay, sir. Sige, sir.
Sige, okay.
I have reviewed the MOA, sir, with DOTR. It was specified there that we should follow the RA 9184 procedure. And based on the RA 9184 procedure, we have to follow competitive bidding. Sir, can I be heard?
Sige, Lolit, go ahead.
Sir, based on the memorandum of agreement, since this is a DOTR downloaded project, the mode of procurement, it's stated there that we should follow RA 9184 or the procurement law. And based on the procurement law, section 10, we should use competitive.
Jos, did you hear that, yung kwan? Yung sagot ng kwan, end user?
Yes, sir. I was waiting for the publication in the GC of the written instruction to proceed with the competitive bidding. And that was agreed upon during our last meeting, sir.
Mr. Chair,
Sige.
assuming that it is included in the instructions given by the DOTR included in the downloaded documents. However, was in the MOA the provisions of the GPPB shall govern, sir. Thus, all procurement done as flashed in your screen, sir, by the end user shall be done through competitive bidding, which is public bidding, sir.
Jos, ano mo,
Nakuha ko po, sir. Sir, may we solicit the comment of the developer?
Yes po, sir. Sir, as mentioned by Ma'am Lolit and Attorney Irish, we will follow the 4, which provides for that the all procurement shall be done through competitive bidding po. So yung exception lang is if it would fall under the alternative modes po, such as the direct contracting or an emergency case, or yung mga below the amount po na below 1 million na SVP and shopping. Otherwise po, by default po, what we use talaga is competitive bidding. Sir, in this case, given the amount and that this it will be a consultancy po, so there's an understanding po na talagang through competitive bidding po siya.
Jos, is it okay with you?
Yes, Mr. Chair, that's okay with me, provided however that all procedures will be followed.
Jos, pakiulit yung ano mo? Yung,
Yes, sir. Mr. Chair.
Secretariat. Can you repeat yung query ni Jos? Putol-putol ang dating dito eh. Secretariat.
Sir, I think Engineer Josue is cutting out, sir. We also cannot hear him.
Sir, if I may, sir,
Sige, Attorney Jane.
for all, ano na lang, sir, for all SAC projects, may we just, can we just recommend that a BAC resolution be issued na may summary na po of mode of procurement? So for all SAC projects na po yung covered, ang mode po is competitive bidding. One BAC resolution na lang po for all the projects, sir.
Ilan ba to? Ilan ba to lahat?
There are
There are for 4 airports, 2 projects per airport.
2.1 hanggang 2.4?
And yung previous, sir. Yung previous, sir, na 4 and yung 4 for today, sir. Is that correct, Mike? 8 projects.
Correct, Attorney Dane.
To the chair, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
Opo, okay na po ako dun, sir, dun sa explanation ni Secretariat at saka ng DWH.
So you're okay na with the yun sa as yung explanation nila regarding the competitive
Yes.
bidding and the mode of procurement for this project.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we to approve the to post this project.
To the chair.
Sige, Joe. Go ahead.
Yes, I move to proceed with the procurement of survey services for the expansion of Virac Airport in the amount of 2,575,755 pesos through public bidding.
Second the motion. Any second the motion, please? Manok yun natin the motion, ah.
Apologies, Mr. Chair.
Ah. Ba, 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 break muna tayo. Sino ba yung nandito sa loob ng member ngayon? Diyos? Sino pa?
Engineer Gary
Secretary.
Josue, sir.
Okay. Sino pa?
And our end user, sir.
Tatlo. Kasi I have to, to join with the secretary muna doon sa kabila. Sino ba pwede mag-take over? At it will be with pa rin ba? With quorum pa?
No, sir. If mawala po yung isa, sir, we do not have a quorum, sir.
Si si Heya mag-take over muna to have para may quorum pa rin.
Sir, Attorney Rob is in another meeting, sir. He is with the SAC meeting.
Sige, ganito na muna. Can we have a brief break muna?
Yes, sir.
Are we allowed to have that?
Yes, sir. We can have, sir.
Sige. Bali, ilang kami dito? Tatlo. Tatlo na lang kami, no? Apat.
Yes, sir. Tatlo na lang. Apat po kayo ngayon, sir. Pag hindi po kayo, tatlo na lang po yung maiiwan, sir. We do not have
So, walang
quorum.
umawala ng quorum.
Yes, sir.
Sige. I'll be back na lang. Lang muna ako doon. At nandun si sa kabila, tawag lang ako. So, let's say, muna, a brief, break.
Yes, sir.
Sige, Juan, ang tawag dito. Let's, muna, move to, muna tayo. To suspend.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Sige. Okay, sige. Thank you, ha. Thank you.
Apologies, I
CDGA,
came from another meeting.
Afternoon.
CDGA, sir, is in another, sir.
Yes.
So, he was asking earlier if you could take over, sir.
Ganun ba? Ako talaga mag-preside.
If you
Sorry,
are,
may.
he was called with the secretary, sir. However, I know that you are also in another meeting.
I'm
So,
also being called by the
um,
secretary, by the way. Pero,
sir,
hindi, okay lang, okay lang. I'll just tell them I
we were
have a
advised
meeting.
by General Estabilio, sir, that after 5 minutes, if he is still not available, we will just have to move the meeting to
No,
Thursday.
sayang oras. Let's already close while I'm here. Do we have a quorum even without the chairman?
Yes, sir. You are the fourth member, sir.
Sige. Alright, sige with that. Buti pala pumako kasi may conflict din ako kanina. Pero natapos naman. Sige, Attorney Irish, it's just for records purposes, can you have a roll call please of the attendees? Are we streaming live?
Yes, sir. We
Not
are
being
still
recorded?
streaming live online, sir, via our CAAP YouTube account, sir.
Pero tayong kumo. Sige, go ahead please. Do the roll call.
Sir, please acknowledge once your name is called. Sir, our chairperson is secretary, sir, but he was here earlier. Our presiding officer, Attorney Roberto Martin Benaventura.
Present, good afternoon.
Sir, Engineer Milo is on sick leave. Engineer Borlado is also on leave. We have here Engineer Gary MJD and Engineer Jose Sugi and our end user, sir, from the ADMS, Engineer Mary Jane. From the ATS, we have Miss Marlene Simpson, and from the licensing department, Engineer John Christian Kala. Sir, we also have the members of our BAC Technical Working Group, Dane Espiritu, Florian Atienza, Engineer Norik Baez, Mr. Jose Anthony Elihigo, Mr. Alfred Mistura, Miss Jamaica Gregorio, Dr. Benjamin Derencio, and Miss Cheryl Walikan. Sir, the members of the back secretariat are also here, sir, as well as our minute taker, Sir John Estra Penawa, sir, and our observers from the procurement division from the COA, PCCI, AIS, and ASFI, sir. Sir, we already started our meeting, sir, with the first agenda. We are on to our second agenda, sir.
Okay, so the chairman was here during the discussion for the first item.
Yes, sir.
And the first item you mean call to order?
However, yes, sir. And we also discussed our second agenda, sir, which is the procurement survey for survey services for the expansion of the airport, sir. However, we were not able to I think proceed with the motion for posting, sir.
Sige, can we just do a quick recap? So what happened? It was presented for posting and then
Sir, it was
recommended for posting. Hindi
yes, sir.
narinig ako.
However, it was still not approved, sir.
It was not yet moved.
Yes, sir.
Who's the presenter and user? ADMS. Can we ask them to come up?
Yes,
About?
Ma'am?
yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Apo, just for procedure, proper procedure, can you just reiterate the recommendation, please, for the consideration of the Bits and Awards Committee?
Request for posting, sir.
Sige. Because we're posting for the procurement of survey services for the expansion of Virac Airport amounting to 2,575,755 pesos. An ADMS project under the mode of public bidding. So that's the recommendation. Do we have any comments or queries from members? If there's none, can we have a motion, please?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, I move to proceed with the procurement of survey services for the expansion of Virac Airport.
Thank you, sir. Do you have any second? Sino pa iba member dito other than Irish? I can't see.
We have Engineer Gary MJD, sir.
Ayun, sir. Second.
Engineer
Wala siyang
Gary.
audio. I think wala siyang audio. Okay. Okay daw. Okay, we take that as a second. There being a motion duly seconded, the recommendation for the posting of the project is hereby adopted. And you, sir, kindly coordinate with the Secretariat for the submission of the necessary documents for the posting. Kay Sir Sunny pa rin ba to? Irish?
Sir. The next agenda, sir.
No. I mean, kanina nila ko-coordinate yung for posting. Si Sir Sunny pa rin ang nag-handle, di ba?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir Sunny pa rin.
Please coordinate with Sir Sunny. Sige, moving on to the next item on the agenda. Procurement of the consultancy services for appraisal of land improvements, including crops and trees for the expansion of Virac Airport, an ADMS project amounting to 1,427,200 pesos. Pre-procurement
Sir, this-
conference as well. Who will be telling this?
Yes, sir. This is led by Miss Engineer Mary, sir.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Engineer?
Yes po. Visible na po ba all? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. You can see your screen.
Thank you. So, good afternoon once again. So, let me present the procurement of appraisal services for the expansion of Virac Airport. So, the project background for this is the OTR downloaded project for the site acquisition of Virac Airport's planned street width correction. So, from 100 meters to 150 meters in order to comply with the minimum street width for airports under Code 4C. ADMS identified the area for acquisition, which is subject to validation by the survey services to be procured at the same time with these appraisal services. So, the engagement of an independent property appraiser in compliance to Section 6 of the Implementing Rules and Regulations of Republic Act Number 10752, otherwise known as the Right-of-Way Act. The project objectives are to determine the current market value of the land, the replacement cost of the structures and improvements, and the current market value of crops and trees and the properties as affected by the right-of-way requirements of the project. Next is to recommend the appropriate price offer for negotiated sale of the affected properties, and to provide technical assistance, if necessary, to the implementing agency on the negotiated sale proceedings and in administrative and judicial processes for other modes of raw acquisition as needed, including therein of the concerned. So this is the initial area identified, shaded portion. The green shaded portion is the initial area identified for acquisition. So for the invitation to bid, the project title is Procurement of Appraisal Services for the Expansion of Virac Airport, which has a source of fund from GEA CY 2016 DOTR downloaded projects. It has approved budget for the contract is 1,427,200 pesos. So the fee stub for this project is a licensed property appraiser, which is accredited by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. It has a duration of 65 calendar days, and the applicable fee for the bidding documents is 5,600, which is inclusive of 12% VAT. For the bid data sheet, from the ITD clause 10.1c, the minimum required experience of the follow. So professional appraisers, the minimum years of experience is 10 years with a valid license as the proof of profession. The scope of work for this project is the inception report, the appraisal report, and core clearance if this acquisition progresses into expropriation proceedings. So for the recommendations, the mode of procurement will be public bidding, the evaluation of based evaluation or the QCBE, and the criteria and ratings for evaluation of HRB are technical proposal 70%, which composes of the experience and capability of the IPA 28%, quality of personnel is 21%, and the plan of approach and the methodology is 21%, which composes of 70% for the technical proposal. And next criteria is the financial, which is 30%. So the next recommendation is to request approval for posting. That ends for my presentation. Thank you.
Can you go back to the recommendation page, sir? Sige. At this juncture, we open the floor for members of the TWG and the Secretariat. Do they have any comments or queries on the presentation? So the recommendation is for posting. This is a basis, so the procedure we're following is meant, meaning we have criteria and ratings to be considered, and it's all here as shown in the screen. Do you have any questions? If there's none, maybe we can have a motion, please.
Hello, sir. Narinig na po ako?
Yes, sir. Narinig ka na
Okay,
namin.
sir. Sige, sir. I move for the posting of this project procurement of services for the expansion of Virac Airport through public bidding.
Thank you, sir. Do you have any members? Second, please. Tatlo lang ba kami, Attorney Irish? Kasama si DDGA.
For the regular member, tatlo kayo. And then for our end user, sila po yung 4.
Yung end user.
Si Engineer Mabaw, sir, from the ADMS. Si Engineer Lolita Hubay, sir. I'm sorry.
Alright, Engineer Lita. Again, members, you have any second? There's a motion for the posting of the project.
Second the motion, Mr.
Thank you,
Chair.
sir. There being motion duly seconded, let this project be posted accordingly to just please coordinate the necessary documentation. In any case, this will still undergo pre-bid, so we will hear comments as well in that session. Thank you. Next item, procurement of survey services for expansion of Roxas Airport amounting to 9,187,120 pesos, an ADMS project. Si Ma'am Amabaw din ba mag-present?
Yes,
Before
sir.
before proceeding, let me just kasi the other meeting I was referring to earlier that I just mentioned, committee items discussed as well. These were some of the items in the while now, and ngayon nga that we took over, where we recommended that the survey already be done para maka-move along na tayo sa mga site acquisition processes natin. So, these three in particular, Virac, Roxas, uh, parehas mga Roxas yan. Yeah. Sige. With that, let's already go with the presentation, please.
Okay, so good afternoon. So this is for the Roas Airport. It's just the same, it just have the same objectives and as the other one, the Virac. So to present, procurement of services for the expansion of Roas Airport. So it just have the same background as the other one, kanina yung Virac. The same project objectives. So proceed na lang. So this is the initial parcellary plan, the initial area for site acquisition, the shaded portion. So the project title for this is Procurement of Services for the Expansion of, Rojas Airport, sorry. The source of fund is from JEE calendar year 2016, ADOTR downloaded project. The approved budget for the contract is 6,546,000 pesos. And the minimum personnel requirement, one project manager, two geodetic engineers, six engineering aides, two common laborers, two researchers, two CAD operator, and a one encoder or secretary, and one messenger or liaison officer. So the equipment for this project, the minimum equipment requirement is 2 pairs or 4 units of dual frequency survey grade Genesis equipment with corresponding accessories, 2 units total station with complete accessories, 2 units of service vehicle with dedicated driver. The duration for this is 120 calendar days with applicable fee of the bidding documents 5,600 inclusive of 12% VAT. Then the minimum required experience of the proposed professional staff is as follows. So for the project manager, the minimum years of experience is 10 years. With the license, genetic engineers is 5 years and the license as proof of profession. Scope of work, then section report, final auxiliary survey report, final row survey report, the court appearance if this acquisition progresses into expropriation. Ah, sorry, let me correct the ADC for this project. It is not 6 million, pala hindi pala napalitan, sorry. So it is 9,187,920 pesos po pala. Ano ba to? Okay po. Sige po, palitan ko lang po. Sorry, repeat ko lang po yung approved budget for the contract. So, it is 9,187,920 pesos. To proceed, so for the recommendations, services for the expansion of Roxas Airport, it is 9,110,920 pesos. Recommendations, mode of procurement is the public bidding. Evaluation procedure is a cost-based evaluation of the highest rated process of experience and capability of the survey firm. Is 20%. All new personnel to be assigned to the project is 21%. Plan of approach and methodology, 21%. That composes of 70% for the technical proposal and 30% for the financial proposal. So next recommendation is to request for approval for posting. That ends my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I reckon this is the same parameters you used in the previous item, and this is the same parameters we're using for all ADMS surveys. Tama po ba, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
It's just the same. Sige. With that, do we have any questions or clarifications from our members? If there's none, maybe we can have a motion, please. The recommendations for posting.
To the chair.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oo. Oh, clarify ko lang yung regarding doon sa source of fund. Is it sa 2016?
Yes, sir. 2016 po.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay rin, sir. Yeah, like I mentioned,
Yeah, yun lang naman.
ito po, mga na, ano to, mga natenga from the previous, ano.
Oo nga, sir, kasi baka ang inaano ko dito kung yung obligation nito hindi na-extend, baka magkaroon tayo ng problema. Hindi naman.
Hindi naman po. Hindi pa siya covered nung ano, sir, nung before, ano pa to, existing pa yung allotment. Kaya okay naman siya.
Okay.
We're just wanting to get things moving with this. Sige po, so do we have a motion?
Sige, sir. So, I move for the posting of the project procurement of services for the expansion of Roxas Airport under public bidding.
Thank you, sir. Do we have a second? Thank you rin po, sir. There being a motion, duly seconded. Let's consider this project procurement of survey services for Roxas. Tama, no? For Roxas, expansion of Roxas Airport be accordingly posted as recommended. Kindly coordinate, end user kindly coordinate with the Secretariat for the necessary documentations. Sige, with that, let's proceed to the next item. Procurement of consultancy services for the appraisal of land and improvements including crops and trees for the expansion of Roxas Airport. The ADMS project amounting to 2,148,500 pesos. Ma'am, ikaw rin ba to?
Same, sir. Engineer Mary Jane, sir.
Sige, let's proceed, please.
Okay, so next is the pre-procurement expansion of Roxas. So the same as the Virac, the same project background, still a OTR downloaded project. And engagement of services for the IPA in compliance with Section 6 of the IRR of the RA number 10752, the Right of Way Act. So for the objective, same objective as the appraisal service of the RAP, determine the current value of the land, the replacement cost of the structures and improvements, and the current market value of crops and trees as affected by the right of way. Then the appropriate price offer for negotiated sale of the affected properties, and to provide technical assistance if necessary to the implementing agency on the negotiated sale proceedings and the administrative and judicial processes for other modes of brokerage, including the attendance herein of concerned IPA technical personnel. So the initial identified area, the red portion, the shaded portion, yeah. The project title for this is Procurement of Appraisal Services for the Expansion of Roxas Airport. Still source of fund is from JEE 2016, a DOTR downloaded project with approved budget for the contract of 2,148,500 pesos. So for the invitation to bid, the case staff for this project is a licensed property appraiser, which is accredited by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. It has a duration of 65 calendar days. The applicable fee for the bidding documents is 5,600, which is inclusive of 12% VAT. Then the minimum experience of proposed professional staff is as follows. So the professional appraiser, which has a minimum required experience of 10 years and a valid license for the prof of profession. The scope of work for this project is the inception report, the appraisal report, and the court appearance if acquisition progresses into expropriation proceedings. Then for the recommendation, the mode of procurement is public bidding. Then the evaluation procedure will be quality cost based evaluation or the QCBE. Then the criteria and ratings, same as the other airports. They have the technical proposal which is 70%, and it composes of the experience and capability of the IPA, which is 28%. And then the quality of personnel to be assigned to the project is 21%. Plan of approach and methodology is 21%. That composes of the 70% for the technical proposal. And next criteria will be the financial proposal, which is 30%. So next recommendation is to request for approval of posting. Thank you. That ends for my presentation.
Once again, thank you for that presentation. Similarly to the previous items, do we have any comments or queries, members, PWD Secretariat? If there's none, let's have a motion, please.
Yes, okay.
Yes, po, sir, go ahead.
I move to uh, that the procurement of consultant service for the appraisal of documents for the last airport.
Rojas po, sir. Yes, sir. May aeroplano. So there's a motion for the approval of the recommendation, which is posting of the project. Do you have any second?
I second, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, sir. There being a motion duly seconded, let this project be accordingly posted as recommended. And you, sir, kindly coordinate the necessary documentation and with the secretary be mindful of the deadlines. All right. With that, let's proceed to item 2.5, which is the purchase request for pre-printed PVC CR80 cards, YMCKK ribbons, and overlay retransfer films amounting to 954,000 pesos. An FSIS, LCD FSIS project. Who will be presenting this?
Sir, this will be presented by Engineer John Criscala.
Please
Good afternoon, sir.
go ahead with the presentation, please. Thank you.
I'll just share my screen, sir. Can you see my presentation, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Just a quick background. The Licensing and Certification Department is responsible for processing the airman's license application. We're also the department that issues the licensing card to applicant. Listed in the table is the historical data of the processed licenses from 2018 to 2021 November 2. Currently, the remaining numbers of the supply is good for 1,500 prints. The items that the LCD is requesting are the ink and the PVC cartridge the LCD is using to print the airman licenses. The items that we are requesting are the YMCKK ribbon, pre-transfer film, and the pre-printed CR80 PVC card with microprinting, UV image, and guillotine pattern. Here's the summary of the request. And the recommended mode of procurement is direct contracting under the Section 50C of RA 9184. Assured is the exclusive distributorship of our suppliers, sir. That's all, sir.
Can we go back to the recommendation page, please?
Yes, sir.
So this is for mode of procurement, not for posting. Tama ba? Sorry Not for pre-procurement.
Miss May?
Yes, yes.
Sir, during our previous meeting, sir, we approved this for direct contracting, sir. However, you required the licensing department to conduct a pre-procurement conference because there has been an issue on the red ribbon for the of their supplier, sir.
Oo nga. So, with what they presented, can we, kasi they presented purchase request. Teka lang, nagulan ako. Because when you say pre-procurement, we're talking about the actual bid docs to be posted. Can you go back to the slides, please? Sorry, let's just go through it very quickly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you're just basically laying down the reason for procurement, but I'm looking for actual bid docs to be posted.
So the bidocs are with the box, sir?
Paano? kami gagawa ng bid docs.
Ay, ito na. Nag-submit na po kami isa sa box.
Yun nga dapat pinipresent nyo po, sir, para yun yung i-approve namin for presenting. When we do pre-procurement, ang tinitingnan na natin yung actual na titingnan ng mga bidder.
Okay,
Tapos tayo dito, sir, sa nag-decide na tayo kung anong mode eh. So we're already talking about the actual documents. Do we have them? Maybe you can flash them very quickly. Iris, tama ba? Tulong mo ako. Nagulan ako.
Yes, sir. They should be updating the bid documents, sir. Presenting the bid documents, sir.
I agree with the chair.
You mean before hindi ginagawa yun?
Ganun
Hindi
din
na
ang
pinipresent? Sa Bac Hindi pinipresent yung documents or posting? I just wanna know because I wasn't part of Bac before. Tama ba? Tama po ba? Wala. Hindi siguro na yeah, in any case under the GDP rules po kailangan po talaga natin ipakita yun bago natin
Okay, sir.
i-post. I think the other members agree. If you can do that now, maybe you can present it. If not, maybe we can defer it muna.
Okay, sir.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead po.
Opo, 'di ba normally kasi sa pre-procurement pinapakita na doon yung invitation to bid mismo yung pino-post and then together with the ITB and other
Yes, sir.
documents.
Exactly, sir. Proper request in a pre-bid conference is for posting po talaga. Evaluating already what's being posted, not anymore the concept of the what's being procured. Tapos na tayo dun sa mode na mode na natin to, 'di ba?
Opo, sir.
Oo. Yeah, ganun po talaga. For other presenters as well, I hope you're taking down this instruction. Ganun po talaga ang process.
Okay,
So for this project, are we ready? Kaya mo ba ma-present yung the documents mo? Invitation to bid. Hindi.
Hindi mo na, sir.
Sige. We'll reschedule this, Secretariat, please. For proper presentation.
Yes, sir.
Tensya na sir, ganun po
Okay.
talaga. Let's just follow the rules
Okay, sir. No problem po.
para maayos tayo. Basing on the title, feeling ko ganun din to. Purchase of EPSON T727 sorry kung basa. Platter Inc. for ADMS amounted to 340,200 pesos, an ADMS project, which was decided to be direct contracting. Tama ba? Na-decide na to for mode, Attorney Irish?
Yes, sir. We already decided that it would be for direct contracting, sir.
For direct
However, you
contracting.
also
So are we ready for
required
presentation? Ano yun, Irish? Sorry.
them, sir. I think clarification na po, sir, that you also required them to present the clear warranty certificate, I think, during the pre-procurement conference, sir.
Mr. Chair, if I may po.
Sige, go ahead.
During last meeting, the mode of procurement um, was on the agenda for the project. That was not decided yet because of the issues on the warranty certificate presented. Today po, the end user will present a um, brief background of the discussion last meeting and the revised warranty certificate. And subsequently, the end user will recommend the mode of procurement based on the new documents.
Okay, so this is still just for determination of the mode. Sige, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Revise the version of the second paragraph. There's a new service warranty. for comparison, and for the mode of procurement, we are still requesting for direct contracting. Without time, thank you.
Sige. The issue here during the previous presentation is the warranty. Tama?
Yes, sir.
Can we pull up the slides again? Huwag niyo muna tanggalin.
Okay.
Ito na yon yung pinasend nyo. Can we move?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I remember this. Dahil medyo malabo yung wording. So they already agreed to revise it.
Wanted the certificate as a basis for
Alright, for the members, is this acceptable? Sino ba nag-raise nito before?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Kayo po yung nag-raise. Yeah, nga eh. Hindi ba tagal na? Is this okay with you, sir? Okay na. Better. Kasi nung una, magulo nga naman talaga. Sige, let's go to the recommendation page, please. So going back, this is a request for determination of mode of procurement. In this case, the recommendation is for direct contracting.
Yes, sir.
The reason being is that the particular
Is the lifetime warranty, sir.
Sige. If there's no more comments or questions on this, maybe we can have a motion, please.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I move that the mode of procurement for the purchase of EPSON 3727 Chapter 8 for ADMS be direct contracting.
Alright. Is there any second?
I second, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, sir. There being motion duly seconded. As recommended, let this project be procured under the mode direct contracting. Sige. So this will be scheduled for pre-procurement. Tama?
Excuse me. If I may, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Sharing the screen. This is determined for the purpose, for the information purpose, the BAC through the BAC carrier shall post the notice of acting. Need for the Philippine bidding documents to be prepared for this project. That's the notice of.
Okay. Sino itong kausap ko? Sorry.
Sir, that is not your mic, sir.
Number 2 ng PWG.
TWG. Okay, so this is the recommendation on the TWG already. Okay, sige. There being provision on it. This is which issuance is this? This is a separate issuance regarding process for direct contracting and negotiated. Tama ba?
It's part of the
manual procurement of bids. Okay. Sige, let's do this in accordance with the prescribed procedure for posting. Let's already coordinate the secretariat for the necessary documentation, please. Thank you. So yung kanina, was that also
As for the however, during the previous meeting, sir, you required them to present again for procurement, sir.
even for determination of the mode?
No, sir. You require them for the procurement, sir. in the manual for procurement, sir, for goods and services, sir, requires that there is no need for the presentation of the bid document, sir. Then we could proceed, sir, if for the posting of this project for in the PhilJEP, sir.
Hindi, okay na 'to. Yung isa lang medyo na-confuse lang ako. Because have we, as I was asking earlier if we've already decided on the mode. Have we? Or was it deferred because of i-present? So wala pang mode? Hindi pa na-mode yun?
Yung previous, sir, for the licensing na bold, sir.
Licensing. Na-mode
Yes,
na.
sir.
And
Yes,
then the
sir.
mode that was decided on was direct contracting.
Was the recontracting, sir.
Okay. Then they were required to present the documents. But now the TWG is recommending na hindi na kailangan because of this. Tama ba?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is that also the recommendation of the TWG?
Yes, sir. Sir, and the pre-procurement required eh, 2 million, sir.
The pre-proc, the whole pre-proc process.
Yes, for the contracting, sir. Sir, in number 5, if a pre-procurement conference is required or deemed necessary, sir, and if we check the conduct of pre-procurement conference on when a pre-procurement conference is necessary, it provides that for projects involving an ABC amounting to more than 2 million, sir. So
Okay,
if it is below 2 sa pre-procurement conference, if the circumstances like the complexity of the technical specifications warrant the holding of such conference, sir.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir. Sir. Lee.
I think the DWG head is referring to pre-bid conference, not pre-proc conference.
Can you verify?
Sir, it's conduct of the pre-procurement conference. It's in page 20 of 120. Page 20 of the manual, sir.
Which manual? Yung kanina?
Page, Mike, ikaw ba yung purpose sa manual?
This, this is the IRR attorney Ding, regarding the pre-procurement, holding of pre-procurement conference. Also, the 2 million ceiling is also stated in this IRR.
To the chair,
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
oo. Medyo na-confused din ako kasi sinasabi nga dito na the holding of pre-procurement conference may not be required for small procurements. Previously kasi nagkaroon ng mode of procurement dito. So dito kasi sa agenda natin, bakit sinama pa sa pre-procurement conference?
Actually, doon ako naguluhan for the most part kasi the whole time we were doing pre-procurement proper and then biglang nasingitan ng ganyan kaya naguluhan din ako sir. So we're trying to backtrack.
Kasi kino-compare ko siya kasi sa yung sa procedure.
I understand.
Mr. Chair, if I may. Sir, we included this for pre Mr. Chair, if I may. Yes, sir, we included this for pre-procurement conference, sir, because during the previous meeting for the agenda for the licensing, sir, they were required to conduct a pre-procurement, sir, just to clarify on the documents that are available to them. Since there has been an issue on the red ribbon, I think, of their for their project, sir, or their supplier, sir. I'm sorry.
What do you mean? Regarding their justification on why it's direct contracting?
Yes, sir.
Yun nga, that's still determination of mode, not pre-procurement proper. Let's not confuse it because mahirap because we're in goods and services where we we need to determine the mode for every item. Unlike in infra, usually given na regular procurement by default. So ito, pagka ganitong mode of procurement, ihiwalayin nyo sa pre-procurement. Mode lang siya.
Yes, sir. We apologize.
Para hindi tayo nagugulo. But I'm still trying to find that provision regarding 2 million. The holding of a pre-procurement conference may not be required for small procurements, procurement of goods costing 2 million pesos and below, procurement of infra projects costing 5 million pesos and below, and procurement of consulting services 1 million and below.
Also, attorney from, Mr. Chair, it's the manual, sir. Yung naka-flash po ngayon kay Mike. It's page 20 po ng manual. Yun po yung sa
Okay. But it's the same provision. You cited it.
Yes po.
Again, it says there, it's purely discretionary on the back. We can conduct it if we want to. So that's not really the issue here. The issue here is more of this is a direct contracting. This is determined as direct contracting, and the TWG is recommending na pag direct contracting din ang kailangan. Is that it?
Yes, sir. Depending on the complexity po. For the ink, we recommend that this pre-procurement conference is not needed.
For the ink, sinasabi niya na hindi na kailangan. Do you have, sige, let's just consider that recommendation. Again, just to set the record straight, the rules says that it's discretionary on the back. So we can require it if you want to or if you don't want to, basing on the complexity as mentioned. And the recommendation of the TWG for this particular item, sa ano tayo bumalik tayo, di ba? Nasa, teka lang, nasa ribbons and overlay retransfer films, FSIS. So with this particular project, the recommendation is to dispense with the procurement conference and proceed with the posting, considering this is direct contracting. This was determined to be a direct contracting procurement. Sige, with that recommendation, may questions po ba ang members? Or merong any objection or clarification? Or for my end, I was just really more of na-confused na ako dun sa kasi halo-halo yung agenda natin. But yeah, the TWG does have some basis on it and I'm inclined to allow it if the other members are okay with it. Which would be, ang akin naman is, which would be the fastest way for us to go about it para di na rin tumagal. Sirs, do you have any objections or questions? Yes, sir. Go ahead po.
That would apply for item 2.5 and 2.6.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's the standing recommendation.
Yes, okay. I will accept the recommendation of the TWG.
Sige. Is there any second?
I second, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. There being motion duly seconded for items 2.5 and 2.6, having clarified the matters in the procedure and as recommended by the TWG, we are dispensing with the pre-procurement presentation of the documents as provided under the IRR and the manual for the procurement of goods and services, considering that both items have been determined to be under the mode of direct contracting. Okay, start here for the end users for 2.5 and 2.6. Ayaw nyo? Sige. Motion is hereby carried. We'll proceed with, teka, klaro ba? Ayoko nang balikan to Klaro sa inyo, FSIS, ADMS, are we clear?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
You know what to do already?
Yes, sir.
Sige. Okay. So yun lang, my request is for the secretariat next time, let's separate it. If it's not pre-proc proper, let's separate it as just mode of procurement. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Sige, tapos, yeah, sige, let's proceed with the next item, number 3, discussion of the following projects, request for reconsideration on the mode of procurement for ATFM software tool subscription, ATS. Saan na ba tayo dito? We requested, I believe previously we requested the end user to have a presentation. The chairman requested for more comprehensive presentation, particularly on the options available for the BAC. Who will be presenting this?
This will be presented by Miss Marlene Singson.
Ayun. Sige ma'am, go ahead po.
Good afternoon po. Ma'am Irish, good afternoon Attorney Rob. Ma'am Iris, meron yung yung nasa inyo po yun sa presentation? Or discussion na sir? Okay. Good afternoon, sir. Last back na tinable po tong ATFM, the body decided the committee decided to have it deferred. We appeal for the grant that it be procured as direct contracting, sir, because the only supplier in the market for the subscription is only Metron. Yung iba po, which was questioned last time, they do not provide a subscription type of service. What they do provide, like Thales, is the complete package, meaning kasama po ang software and hardware, and that would cost a lot more than this one. Ito pong direct contracting na subscription, sir, will only cost about 25 to 26 million depending upon the exchange rate. Yun pong sa the entire system would cost about 200 would cost about 420 million, sir. So again, we would like to appeal to the committee to allow or choose and have a resolution for direct contracting in the procurement of this ATFM subscription. Sa subscription, sir, it would include maintenance and automatic upgrade. Yun po yung coverage niya, sir. Duly and respectfully presented right now. For
Alright, thank you, ma'am. Sige, I think si DDGA kasi still with the secretary. Do you have queries from the other members? I think the issue still stands here. The main issue being deliberated upon last time is really the propriety of of allowing it for direct contracting, considering that as mentioned by Ma'am Marlene, that the only provider for a subscription setup is with Metron and it's not available elsewhere. I think the concern raised by ba talagang subscription, tama po ba?
Sir, if I
Na-
may,
na-
sir. Sir, from
Nakalimutan ko
the
rin, sir.
the end user was asked to present comparison of all and they prepared a matrix for that.
Ayun.
I will
while if I may, yung pong question ni Engineer Josue, sir, actually, ang sinasabi niya, for direct contracting, dapat meron kaming sole na supplier ito in the market. And then, apparently, dun daw sa presentation ay nakita nila yung Thales. That one actually comparison between what Thales provides and what Metron offers. So yun sir, that's the reason it has a very big difference in the amount. Kasi for Metron, it would only cover the subscription. Sa kanila po yung unit and everything. Yun po kasing sa Thales, sir. Kaya sa 420 million, bibilhin natin lahat-lahat. The entire system na kailangan ikabit dito. Ito, sir, yung sa Metron, which we have used since for past 9 to 10 months. Ginamit na kasi namin siya, sir. Up to the time na natapos po yung napirmahan ni Captain Jim, ni DG, na agreement with Metron for us to use yung subscription na ito. So nagamit namin siya sir until September. Ngayon po, wala na kaming ginagamit. So we're doing it manually. So na-prove na rin namin sir na talagang useful siya and na-train na po yung mga kasamahan nating nagmaman ng ATFM with this Metron na system through subscription. So this one po flashed on the screen is yung comparative assessment on how di ba sir, yung different ways of procurement, the public bidding, direct contracting or single source, and the emergency procurement. Last time po sir, Attorney Rob, you mentioned na you would like to classify it as an emergency procurement because of what we are facing right now. By the way, sir, since the last time na nag-back meeting po regarding ATFM, from the 60% pre-COVID rate, nasa 70% po tayo ngayon. Probably because of the holidays din, sir. Ang dami na pong nagpa-approve na additional flights and if I may say, and put as an example, yung Saudi Airlines po, nagpadagdag ng 2 uling flights. Ang dito sir, the same pa rin naman po yung capacity declared for the runway, for the terminal, and for the apron. So ito po yung makakatulong sa atin to spread sa 24-hour cycle all the flights that are trying to fly in and out of Manila.
Okay. That's well noted, ma'am. Will you be presenting this or will you be discussing more on this?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Di ko kasi maalala yung exactong scope report. Pero, ang pagkakasabi ko is ATS mismo ang nag-present that within the different ATFM centers in the Asia Pacific, if I'm not mistaken, iba-ibang software tool ang kanilang ginagamit. And none of them uses the Thales. Yun po yung aking kaliwat. Kasi ang ginagamit lang natin na basihan dito is the Metron and Thales and Indra. However, doon sa pinakita po ng end user, during the previous meetings, none of the different ATFM centers na present sila the Thales Torne Indra software tool. They uses another ATFM software tool, hindi ko lang matandaan yung mga pangalan. Pero hindi po sa Thales at hindi rin Indra. Yun na po, Mr. Chair.
Okay, sir. Ma'am Merlin, would you want to say something about that?
As I mentioned earlier, sir, it was presented to show a comparative analysis of what the other suppliers can offer in the market, sir. And talaga pong sa ngayon, until now, subscription. And dahil we are striked for funds, kasama po yun sa consideration namin why we opted for the subscription rather than procuring the entire system, including the hardware and the software. At saka ito kasi sir, ang downside pati, yung subscription would include upgrades. Yun po kasing sa ano, kung ano po yung pinoprocure sa Thales or sa Indra, yun na yun sir, walang kasamang upgrade. So kapag nagpalit po sa iba, hindi na rin po natin yan magagawa.
Yes, ma'am. I understand. Sige, I think ano naman, I think na that was the last. Yes, sir. Sorry, medyo maingay, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Opo, yung pag-procure po kasi natin is depende po doon sa ating technical specs. Kung ano yung gusto natin dito. Kung ano yung offer ng kabila, hindi po nila manunod po ating technical specs. So, hindi po sila pagka-qualify. Di po ba? Tapos yung pong budget natin is 20 million lang. Kung ano yung offer nila is 420 million, hindi po sila pagka-qualify. Or they will not submit a bid for the project. Kung sino lang po yung makakapag-provide ng technical specs na hinihingi natin, yun lang po yung final bid para dun sa project na pinopropose natin. Yun lang po ang circle.
Through the chair.
Ma'am.
Sir, yun pong tech spec doon, sir, sa pinaka-program at saka doon sa TOR. Actually, subscription po talaga yung nakalagay. Probably there was just confusion dun sa naging presentation because Thales and Indra were mentioned. But as I have mentioned before and I am reiterating right now, it was meant to make a comparison between what is in the market. Kaya po, ang very clear naman po dun is we opted for subscription.
Yes, ma'am. I understand that part. Ano naman, for me, it's very is based on the fact that this is a subscription and there's only one supplier that gives you this setup, which is what we are trying to get right now. On my actually sa amin naman ma'am, ako I'm not a technical person, so apologies kung hindi ko naintindihan yung ibang sinasabi. But I'm just really looking at the process that we are adopting, especially in the back. We to question so much on the reasoning behind the project and whatnot went through the process internally, especially if the project was already approved by the DG. BAC has no say on what the BAC is really just looking at is the propriety of the process we're adopting. And in this case, originally, ang naging recommendation is tama, no? Originally, the recommendation is for regular procurement, and that's why there's an MR right now for thing because of the very reasons that were cited by Ma'am Marlene. On my end, ang main consideration ko really is that I believe we're being overtaken by events, especially with the need procurement. Kasi sa akin, kung di natin ma-settle to, mas madali emergency. But if we can come into agreement on this right now, para hindi na tumagal, para rin masimulan na yung proseso at maagapan natin yung urgency that we're trying to meet. I'm keen on allowing the code considering that there is sufficient legal basis for it, which I think can be backed up by the justification. I think meron kayong full position paper on this, ma'am, di ba?
Yes, sir. Meron po, sir.
I think I've read that at some point. And also, at the same time, this has already come to the DG's attention and he's also very much concerned events, especially ngayon, dumating ulit yung ating mga approvals. So with that, we're just putting it again on the table for the consideration of the BAC. The recommendation is for the reconsideration of the earlier mode And instead of making it regular procurement, we allow it to be done through direct contracting. Meron pa po ba tayong vehement objections on this? If there's none, maybe we can approve it as recommended. Members?
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
Uh, I think the PWG has prepared the pros and cons of the different procurement process. Can we wait on the PWG?
Dane, can we flash it again? Yeah, maybe I agree. Hanapan ko kasi tsura ko niya mapag-motion. So, TWG, maybe you can have a proper recommendation for the consideration of the members.
Yes, sir. Attorney Irish, pwede pa-flash ulit yung matrix. Pwede sa justification na rin po. Sir Sugi, this was prepared by the end user.
Apologies, Miss Dane, pero naka-cellphone lang kasi ako, hindi ko mabasa.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, quickly na lang.
Yes, sir. So for the justification, the recommendation of the end user and this supported by the TWG is to have this that the mode for procurement be direct contracting. The end user shall obtain from proprietary source such as the patents, trade secrets, copyrights, and there is a critical component from a specific supplier. In this case, is the Metron, sir, which is a condition precedent to hold a contractor to guarantee its project performance. Scroll po. And the project shall be sold by an exclusive dealer or manufacturer. Sir, as already mentioned, this was already discussed by Ma'am Marlena din po. The procurement will be reused. So for the recommendation of the TWG that the mode for procurement be direct contracting po.
Miss Dane, ilang page po yan?
Six pages, sir. Na-differentiated po yung mga processes po kasi, sir.
Engineer Sugi, the back secretariat can post it in the Viber group, sir, for your appreciation, sir. The matrix that was submitted.
Sige po, thank you po. Wala kasi akong internet, nakadata lang po ako, kaya hindi ko magamit yung laptop.
Okay, just to clarify again, the recommendation of the TWG is to reconsider the mode of procurement and allow direct contracting. Tama, Dane?
Yes, sir.
Based on the aforementioned reasons. I think I appreciate what Dane mentioned earlier regarding dun sa yung sa requirements for direct contracting that it falls within the purview of direct contracting, considering that the technical expertise really falls within the requested service, which in particular, in this case, would be the subscription setup only. So yun po, sir.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
can we be given time to study the presentation by the end user?
I mean the recommendation.
No, no, Mr. Chair, the comparative between the different mode of procurement.
If that's okay with the other members. Again, stress ko lang po sir, medyo urgent na po kasi. What do you suggest, we give it time now or we defer it to another meeting? When will be our next meeting, Secretariat?
Sir, we have another meeting on Thursday, sir.
On Thursday. Okay lang.
Yes,
If
sir.
that's okay with the other members, Regarding end user.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sige. Okay, sir. Since there's no objection and the next meeting is already on Thursday, maybe ang request ko lang po is huwag na natin patagalin beyond Thursday, please. Let's already settle it so we can already start whatever process needs to be started. Sige. We'll consider that as a motion for deferment and agreed by Sir Gary. Let's defer this item for Thursday for final determination and no more extensions, please. Any ma'am, sige po, emergency purchase of via IESRI in relation to AIS maintenance contract, which is also an ATF. We'll be discussing
Sir,
this.
it will be Marlene.
John, sir. Yeah.
Ah,
I think
yes. Go ahead, sir.
the FIC of AIS, Mr. George Narvaez, has a presentation. George, are you ready?
Good afternoon, everyone. Good
Okay,
afternoon,
thank you.
Mr. Chair. Can I share my screen?
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. Nakikita po yung presentation.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon again. I'm George Narvaez, FIC of AS Operations. I will be presenting the emergency procurement of SDO, Static Data Operations Data Provider License. The emergency procurement of one EAD Pro SDO, Static Data Operations Data Provider License, availed via the existing CAAP, IS3 or Integrated Energy System Resources. This will be the additional application with the current contract provided by S3. EAD Pro is the previous system used by AS Operations before the ASS Aeronautical Information Service System. EAD Pro is still being used for the AIP or Aeronautical Information Publication and Charting Operations, as well as for the issuance of NOLAM, because the ASS system hasn't yet installed the SNOTAM operations or the application. So we are now using the EAD Pro system. The SDO, Static Data Operations Data Provider, is a subsystem of EAD Pro system. The SDO provides functionality for the loading and checking of static aeronautical data. Also, it's a data backbone for other subsystems like AAP charting and international NOTAM operations. Functionality for access and or maintenance of static aeronautical data. Due to the absence of the ASS maintenance support services contract with frequencies, a critical and urgent update for the ASS was not implemented, resulting to the disconnection of vital ASS applications from EAD, static data operations, and PAMS, published AAP management system. As of now, the ASS is by AS operation and developer for us to continue the application which is issued by the ASS. The emergency procurement of one SDO data provider license would allow the ESO to continue services payment or aeronautical information circulars. So, presentation. Thank you.
Alright, thank you. Can we keep the presentation up, please? So this is a request for conduct of emergency procurement, tama ba? It's under discussion item, so again, this is confusing for us. Are we supposed to approve emergency procurement? Is that the intention here? Can we flash the presentation, please, and the recommendation? Hello? Irish, narinig ba ako?
Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir.
Ah,
Sir George?
again, I'm asking kasi the agenda places this item under matters for discussion. Is this for approval? Are we? This is a request for conduct of emergency procurement as a mode. Tama ba? Thank you, sir. Hello.
Turn it off. You're cutting out, sir.
Ako ba? Napuputol ako? I was
Hello, sir.
asking, yeah, I was asking kung this is a request for approval of the mode because this is not under request for approval. This is under matters for discussion. Ano po ba ang ano dito? Ano ang gusto natin mangyari?
Mr. Chair, if I may. Sir, the documents forwarded to the BAC Secretariat, sir, they were asking for they forwarded the letter regarding the billing of this, sir, and then the request for the emergency purchaser for the emergency procurement. So this is for the approval, sir, for the justification for the emergency procurement, sir.
So this is again determination of the mode of procurement. Tama? Because we're determining if this is an emergency procurement. Na I'm asking this kasi we need to somehow put order kasi magulo talaga. Sorry, promise magulo talaga. Kasi nag-present kayo, hindi namin naintindihan para saan. Sige, now that's clarified. So this is a request for the approval of the justification for emergency procurement. The basis being cited is, can we flash it please? Ano po ulit, sir? Ano yung basis natin? Pinaka-basis natin, bakit emergency?
Hello, sir. Because we have pending yung contract po with the frequencies for back, ano, hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, pakituloy
Hello,
please.
sir. Yes, sir. Because we have still pending contract to be, I think, negotiated between CAAP and the frequencies, and we don't have a maintenance support system with regards to our system being used today, which is yung ASS, and we hope to have a emergency purchase of our contingency procedure so we can continue to provide like AIP and charting and other services of AIS.
Okay, sir. I understand the reasoning. Just to help
Yes,
us
sir.
and just to help us elaborate further, please. So currently ang system natin is not frequencies.
Actually, yung existing system po natin is frequencies po, yung ASS. And then meron po tayong maintenance and contract support services, which is na-negotiate po, inaayos po ng BAC and CAAP.
This is under Mac
Uh,
Bravo with frequencies as well.
Opo, BAC Bravo po yung may hawak. Pending po kasi sir actually na po siya, render na po ng services yung frequencies, pero mas po dun sa actually the mode of procurement po sa maintenance and support services is na po, which is
Hindi,
direct
opo, ano
contracting
lang,
po.
we're trying to put things in place para
Yes,
so currently we're already using the frequencies
yes sir.
pero wala pa tayong kontrata with them.
Nag-expire po ng October
So
2020.
previously, sir, sila na rin ang ginagamit natin. Expired.
Meron na po sir.
Yung renewal,
Na-expired po.
nire-renew pa natin, hindi pa pang ongoing process with Bravo.
Yes, yes sir. Correct po.
So now you're opting for emergency procurement dahil wala pang contract.
Yes
Tama
sir.
po ba?
Meron pa kasing isang system sir, bali dalawa po yung system natin na ginagamit.
Yes.
Ginagamit po namin siya mainly for contingency purposes para po meron kami baka para hindi po mapend yung mga natin.
Yes, so I'm just questioning the propriety of the mode because wouldn't it be more appropriate that you just extend the previous contract in the meantime while you are procuring the renewal or the current one?
Actually sir, nag-request na po kami ng extension ng
ano nangyari?
itong ASS. Sir wala pa rin clear ang back answer dun sa mga letters namin po. I think Sir Joma. Sir Joma can help.
Sige ma'am.
Actually sir, this is what we call the maintenance and support service agreement for AIS. It costs 30 million yung minention ni George kanina iniinta. Bravo decided last September 10 that the mode of procurement be direct kasi nga po nag-terminate na yung existing na contract. Pero hindi kami naka-receive ng reply. Pero nung Thursday, pinatawag ako ni Jen ni DDGA. Isa po to sa mga diniscuss namin at sinabi niya directive of DG, itutuloy na siya sir. So iniintay po namin yung magiging final action from Bravo nga.
Tama naman po ma'am. Apo, naiintindihan ko naman po. Ang akin lang po kasi, ang mangyayari dyan, if i-emergency natin ito, ano mangyayari dun sa ongoing? Parang in-approve mo na siya, pinre-empt mo na siya. So, parang I find it not a sound process. We might be questioned about it kasi parang sinircumvent natin yung previous na bilang emergency pa tayo. You coming from. So what I recommend, yung previously instructed na direct contracting na yun, buhayin natin. Asa na po ba yung documents noon? Nasa na yung ano ng status noon? TWG Secretariat, wala ba sa inyo?
Mr. Chair, if I may, there was no transition to us, Mr. Chair. The documents were not endorsed by the previous secretariat to us. That's why we were starting from scratch, from the procedure to the documents.
Sige. I understand. I don't think this is anyone's fault. I think na anuhan tayo, na abutan tayo ng changes. So what I recommend, ganito ma'am, if you can provide us already with whatever documents you previously submitted para ma-schedule na natin agad yung kontrata na yan at ma-approve na yan agad. And in the meantime, while that's being approved, I recommend we just extend the previous one until this new one is approved. Okay po ba yun, ma'am?
Extensions are even without the, kasi na-terminate na siya noong October, sir.
Terminate because of expiration, not because we terminated it.
Yes po.
O, pwede yun, ma'am.
No. Pwede, sige, sir.
Yeah,
We will
so
have
we will just use the terms of the old contract until this new contract is properly bidded out. Madaliin na lang natin tong new contract since naka-direct contracting naman siya. Shouldn't take long. I don't know why nangyari, bakit hindi na tumuloy. But since there's already a directive from management, ituloy na natin para meron na tayong bagong kontrata. Instead po of procuring an independent emergency procurement which will really be a doubtful process kasi may direct contracting ka ng isa, meron ka pang emergency procurement for the very exact same thing. Tama po, di ba? Lumalabas?
So actually, hindi po siya, to the chair, it's not exactly the same thing. Ito pong isang ito ay nakadikit. Kadikit siya ng AISS Maintenance Support Service. Parang, two different, it's just that nag-work lang siya kapag may AISS Maintenance Support. Ito po ay another, anong tawag nila doon? Nandoon siya sa loob ng maintenance support service. Anyway, sige sir, ang gawin na lang po namin sir, we will prepare all the documents necessary and will submit it to the secretariat as directed po.
For the this is for the contract proper po mama, yung pinag-uusapan natin kanina na yung dapat ituloy na.
Yes po, yung AISS.
Yung buong project na po. Opo, para matapos na natin. Sige po. Ganun na lang po, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you po.
Sige. Sir George, okay na po. Secretariat, can we prioritize this please? Urgent matter kasi mahirap mawalan tayo ng ganito. Yes, sir.
Through the chair, Sir Rob, no? Ano ko lang po yung contract po, is-signed na po siya ni DG and with legal pass na po siya. Yung yung AISS contract po. Yung 30 million. Kailan po.
Paano nangyari yun? Hindi pa na-procure na sign na?
May nag-sign na po si DG last, I think, hawak po kasi ng yung documents kumaga na-process na rin po namin yan. Para may bigyan lang po kayo na.
Kausapin ko siya. Sige. Mahalaga mahabol natin yung proseso ng maayos. Sir? Yes po.
Yes, sir. Clarification lang, Sir Chair. Yung maintenance po ng AISS is done by the third party. Pero po ba?
Sorry po, hindi ko po narinig. Sorry, sir.
Yun po ba maintenance ng AISS is done by a third party provider?
Ma'am? Ang pagkakaintindi ko, sila rin yun Ma'am, tama po ba?
Yung maintenance support. Actually, sir, they call it maintenance support, but it's basically subscription para tumakbo yung system. Kaya doon po sa meeting with DDGA last Thursday, ang isa sa naging pinag-agrihan din po, APS will no longer handle this project. Mapupunta po siya sa ANS kasi sir, nakadikit siya doon sa mismong equipment. Ang concept kasi nito, sir, kung wala po itong maintenance support na ito, tawag lang kasi nila maintenance support, we will not be able to have a link in the street. Alimbawa po, yung notice to airman, nandiyan na lang siya, hindi natin siya mai-promulgate globally and nationally. Kaya yun po yung importance niya. And all our publications, the AIP, the ARAC, and everything else, ganun po yung mangyayari. Kumbaga, we will no longer have the link to the other stakeholders in aviation. Kaya hinahabol talaga namin to sir na agad. That's the reason nung wala pong sumunod after nung magkaroon ng resolution as to the mode of procurement noong September. Nanghingi kami ng urgent meeting noong November 8, kaya lang hindi po kami naka-receive ng reply sa BAC. Ganun po ka-extensive yung effect nito kapag hindi po natin na ituloy.
Sure, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am Marlene, ano po, ibig sabihin, software lang yung provide to frequencies, yung personnel, galing pa rin sa CAAP. Ano po ba ito?
Yes. Hindi siya actually software. It's parang, ano paano ba? Paano ko ba siyang bibigyan ng analogy? Halimbawa po, para po siyang yung server ng ating cellphone. Kung globe siya o ano, para tayo ay magkaroon ng link dun sa iba. George, paki-ano kay Engineer Josue
Yes, ma'am.
yung setup natin. Kung paano tayo nagkaka-link using this maintenance support.
Yes, ma'am. Yung ASS po kasi marami po siyang subsystems. Nandito po yung internet briefing system natin which is used by other ATS facilities. So doon po sila magpa-file ng mga flight plans. And then yung kasama po diyan yung issuance ng mga NOTAM and then yung static data. So ang kailangan po natin is yung maintenance and contract support services in order for us to receive updates. At saka kung meron pong mga issues po with regards to dun sa system, madali po nila ma-address yung mga issues. Kasi po, as of now, wala po kaming kumbaga, support services kung ano po mangyari dito sa current setup natin. Parang ticking time bomb siya pag kung kumbaga mawawala po tayong connection sa other countries or other nations po. Pag bigla po nag-out, like yung nangyari po nung last week, nag-out po yung system namin and then we try to resolve it using our contingency procedure and system. Yun po yung medyo critical po kaya kailangan natin magkaroon ng maintenance and support services from frequently.
Through the chair,
Yes, ma'am.
so ano ko lang yung mention ni George na last week. Last week po, we started with an incident in Davao and then another incident in Mactan. Nagkaroon tayo ng El Nido at parang napakaano nung araw na yun, sir. 4 incidents in a day. Hindi natin, kinlose natin yung airport at hindi po tayo nag-provide ng aerodrome service. Mactan is an international airport. Hindi po na-issue yung notice to airmen. Wala po yung system. Ang nangyari, sir, kini-question tayo, lalo na yung mga nag-take off na from other countries na proceeding Mactan. Kasi they were not big factors why we need to have that particular link. Kagaya po nga nun, paano na yung take off mga nanggaling dito, idadive.
Sir Jama, I'm not sure if this is the same project na before this was questioned since ongoing na ginagamit na po. And yung FE direct contracting, yung contract, paano do i-date?
Chair, Attorney Rob,
Yes
and
po.
Attorney Dane. Ito po yung project na ito, ito po yung, the complete name is Maintenance and Support Service Agreement for AIS, ABC 30M, September ang kanya magiging mode. Original documents are forwarded po sa ating BAC. Bravo. And ito pong binabanggit ni George, award and contract nitong binabanggit kong maintenance service. Connected po yung SDO and yung PAMS po. That's correct, Attorney Dane.
I think Dane was pointing out na hindi pa siya na-determine as direct contracting. Tama, Dane? Because there's an outstanding issue.
Sir Joma, tapos tinanong, yung sa 30 million, sir, kung kailan i-date, if ever tapos, I think earlier date, sir, yung sinabi mo.
Iba po yun, Attorney Dane yata. I think
Sir, kasi nabanggit po ni Sir George na
duma-ELS natin. Yun po yun, yung Maintenance Support Service Agreement, yun po yung napirmahan, correct George, no? Napirmahan na.
Video lang. Can you also just revisit the resolution or the minutes of that particular meeting? Apologize kasi wala ako nun. So, I'll have to make sure. Dane, check nyo na lang if that's correct yung sinasabi ni Sir Joma regarding dun sa approval of the direct contracting. If it was indeed approved by the BAC, then okay na yun. We'll fast track it as requested. Verify lang.
yes,
Sige. Meron po tayong questions? Sir Sugi? Sir Gary?
Wala muna, Mr. Chair.
Sige, opo, wala. Sige, Ma'am Marlene, as discussed earlier, yung nalang documentation that I think was not turned over properly as well, so that we can reconsider moving as fast as we can. Let's already have them submitted ASAP
Yes, sir. Will
para
comply, sir. Will
maubusad na.
comply, sir.
Yes po. Tapos in the meantime, we'll just continue on the basing it on the previous contract as extended. But we'll have to recommend that to the DG as well. Sige. Tapos kasapin ko rin si DG doon sa na-sign na contract na yun kasi a bit worried about that. But let's treat that separately. Sige, yun na lang muna. Let's just leave it at that. And then we'll just agenda this again as soon as the documents are ready para we can already decide on everything. Okay? Moving forward, in yung last, I think, do you have anything for other matters? Secretariat?
None for the
PWD?
secretariat, sir.
None from PWD, sir.
Alright, sige. There being no more items in the agenda, we can already adjourn today's meeting. Kindly take note of the deliverables, lalo na sa may mga pending submissions and outstanding issues para ma-resolve natin at hindi makaligtaan. Okay, meetings here ba adjourned? Maraming salamat to everyone who attended. I appreciate your time for attending. Thank you again. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much po.
Thank you.
Thank you.